If you're uncomfortable at the net, you lack confidence, you don't really know what to do in doubles, this is the video for you. And I'm going to share a couple of the mindsets that I had that helped me when I was a player. These things worked for me. They helped me win 9 national junior doubles championships. They helped me be an All-American and compete in the US Open at the age of 17. These are also things that I've helped juniors win those same national championships and other players become All-Americans. So like I said, these are things that worked for me. I know they'll work for you. The number one mistake I see people making is they misunderstand what their job is when they're at the net and their partner is at the baseline. So most people view it that their job is to cover their half of the court. And it's just not correct. Your job with your partner is to win the point. And as I see it, the top priority for you, job 1A, is to put yourself in a position where the baseliner on the other side of the net has to decide if they're going to hit cross quarter down the line. So most people like to stand over here. And that decision is very simple for the baseliner. Of course, they're just going to go to the huge open court where there's no threatening presence and the opponent is back on the baseline. I want to stand in a spot where you're starting to wonder, now, should I go open line? There's a little opening there. Or should I go cross court because that's more percentage? I want you to be thinking about me and constantly making a decision. So if you were to go back and watch one of your doubles matches on video, which by the way, I highly, highly recommend, if I'm standing here and my opponents against me try 90% of their shots cross court and 10% down the line, I am not doing my job as a net player. I probably want that percentage to be more like 70-30 cross court to down the line. And so again, it depends on who you're playing. I have found when I'm about here in this nice aggressive position, I'm showing them some opening, so they'll try it some, but inherently they also know it's risky, and so I'll still be able to pick off a lot of volleys in the middle. The other thing to realize is, although I'm giving them room down the line, I'm still covering my singles down the line court. I mean, this is a very aggressive position here, and with one step, I can easily cover my singles court. So as long as I'm balanced, I'm still only giving them that alley, which is 4.5 feet wide. No 4-5 or under player can hit that consistently. Honestly, no 5-0 or 5-5 can hit it consistently either. It's a very, very small target. So just to be super clear, job number 1 is I just want to position myself in a place where they are thinking about me, they have anxiety about me, and I'm actually making them try multiple shots. I do not want them just to hit cross court for the entire match. Job 1B, just behind that, is when I do put myself in this position, I want to get as close to the net as I can, and I want to play offense when I'm up here, okay? And there's some inherent risk with offense. I'm going to miss some balls. I will get passed in the alley sometimes. That's all part of my job. Every job has some failure built into it. But when I get the volley, I'm not just trying to make it so I don't let my partner down. I'm trying to hit winners and forcing shots. And if I can get close to the net, that's going to help me do it. Now, yes, am I susceptible to the lob? Absolutely. I would argue that if I'm standing here, it's not like all of a sudden I'm going to be getting those high balls. Maybe if it's a difference about this much, but I'm no longer in position for a lob no matter what. So at least if someone hits a lower ground stroke, I can easily angle, I can put it at my opponent at the feet, at the net. And again, when I'm moving forward, my opposing player at the net is generally moving back and they're scared. So job 1B is to play offense. I see people apologizing for missing volleys all the time. You should only be apologizing if you're back here doing nothing. Whether you make it or miss it, that's not your job. Your job is to be a finisher, to be in position, to be active, and to make that baseliner think about you. That brings us to the third job, which is a distant third. We've got 1A and 1B. 1A requires 0 volleying ability, just the courage to be here. 1B has the courage to be up in the net and being aggressive. The third job, distant third, is that when my partner has a weak second serve or the opponent has hit a good return or ground stroke and my partner has hit a weak ground stroke, we're now in trouble, okay? And I would highly advise my opponent across the net, if they get a short ball and they're stepping up, they probably should try to hit me or go at me. That's a very, very smart play. And so my third job as a net player is to play defensive volleys when the situation calls for it. So if my opponent on the other side of the net was moving forward and looked like they were up to no good, from my aggressive positioning, when I see that, I back up a little bit and I get myself small into the doubles alley. And I do that for a couple reasons. Obviously, by backing up, I give myself more time for the reflex volley. I'm also putting myself in a small part of the court, so the target is now very small. If they want to hit me, they've got to be aiming into a very, very risky part of the court. That's great. Number 3, if the ball goes to my left, it's probably going to be out in the alley. So now I know as a reflex, it's over here. So now I kind of know exactly where your ball is going to go. I don't have to defend everything. My reflex gets easier because I know where it's going. And the last thing is, if you don't hit me and it goes a little bit more through the middle, I've got my partner at the baseline to help me out. And ultimately, what I would want is when my opponent is stepping up to crack a ball, I would much prefer my baseline opponent to get it because they have more time. So I've got to lean into that responsibility. I can't just stand here and turn away. I've got to embrace that challenge. If my partner has a weak second serve, I might have to back up and play a defensive volley real quickly and hold on for dear life. Now again, am I going to be perfect at that job? Absolutely not. But I have to lean into that and at least embrace that challenge. So again, this is my mindset when I go into a match. I check myself at the end of every match. Have I accomplished those 3 tasks? Am I making them go cross-court and down the line with my positioning? That's very easy to track when I'm watching myself on video. When I got volleys that were opportunities to be aggressive, did I take them? Or was I passive? And then in those few situations where their second serves or weak ground strokes, did I stick in there, back up, and try my best to hang on? Or did I just blame my partner for hitting a weak ball? So at the end of every match, like again, I really highly recommend that you video these matches, but check those jobs. If you're doing them well, I guarantee you're playing good doubles.